Good morning, collective. I'm just going to do a quick message, actually, before I have my breakfast. First thing is, like on my drive back yesterday, I posted a couple of videos from when I was away out bush the night before last. On my way back, there was a point that I missed, and it was about that. A message that I got on the drive home was that the ancestors were there. They said they were relatives. This is a collective message, so whoever this resonates with, and they said that it was a secret. There was a secret that it's to do with something, okay? All right, and then in a dream, and it was to do with the place that I had camped at, right? There was an old town nearby. This is also relevant to somebody else. This town, there was a lot of like sheds and rundown buildings and like it was a bit like a ghost town, but there was energies there that were dark. Actually, it reminds me of a movie about these people that were traveling and they would get stuck in this town and then they couldn't leave because there was dark energies there that would hold them there. Something to do with that. But there was, like, when I was at this place the other day, there was this place is normally a really positive place, right? But there was some sort of dark energy that had infiltrated this space. There was a bit of a fire there that opened up this area that was normally protected. Somebody, somebody had set fire to a part to infiltrate this place. It's a special place where people would meet, families would go and connect to spirit, right? The Holy Spirit, no dark energies. But when I went there, then there was this fire, and it kind of like opened up and it brought in some sort of dark energy that actually came over in the night, and it's coming from this like a nearby town that is like dilapidated, like its energies are all dark and negative, and like there's still energies there, but it's not positive. Anyway, and then there was this woman, and I kept getting this message. Somebody kept saying, like there's this dark, like a witch or something, like a negative spirit, but it's a woman, and a lot of people coming when I go to specific places, and they say that they're scared of this woman. I don't know who this woman is, but anyway, I was collecting up these blankets for I'm thinking animal spirits, but like they were good energies, like but I was getting blankets like for some, for nurturing animals, like collecting blankets up for nurturing animals. This is symbolic, right? It could could be like children, or you know, like energies that aren't that are needing something, right? They're needing some sort of care. So this could be just like immature energies, or unevolved energies, if I can put it like that. Unevolved energies needing care. And so I was collecting these blankets up. This is in a dream, right? Collecting these blankets up. I think it was a dream. It could have been an awake dream. Anyway, I was collecting these blankets up for these energy, and then there was this woman, and she was offering these blankets. Now, like, because you know, like I'm saying, like unevolved energies, right? Those that are vulnerable. Anyway, so there was this woman that was offering these, like, you know, like knitted dog jumpers, you know, and they're made to fit the animal, but in this case it was for a duck. I don't know why it's a duck, but it was a duck, right? But this person was offering this nurturing blanket for ducks, right? But there was a trick, because she's offering something to nurture vulnerable spirits, right? But the trick is she's off, and I'm saying, and I was collecting up open blankets, right? So it's a non-restricted care as such. You know what I mean? It's like non-judgmental, oppressive or controlling, not controlling, right? There was this woman who was coming across, but it was a false person, right? Because they're offering this nurturing blanket or knitted jumper for a duck. But for a duck, it was restricting, because it would hold the wings tight so they couldn't be free. You understand? So this false person was offering comfort to these ducks, vulnerable ducks, or vulnerable spirits, right? So they were offering in a nice way, you know, like, oh, look, I've knitted these beautiful jumpers, but the jumpers restricted the wings from flying, so they couldn't, be free. So this was a false woman, and because I kept getting this message of someone was scared of some woman that was in power, that was offering comfort to those that are vulnerable, but the comfort is a trap, to suppress. You see what I'm saying? Then, another part of the dream. It was like, and because I'm saying about the suppressing of the freedom in an offering of comfort, but it's a suppressing comfort. This can be interpreted in many ways. So however this resonates for you, understand there's a false comfort. It's a deception. The way I'm getting it and with the reading that I just had, I'll do a reading in a minute on this. It'll be quick, right? But anyway, the next part of the dream is I was in this forest with the blankets that I had for the offerings, right? But they were open blankets. They weren't going to suppress anyone's wings, right? It was a freedom. It's a freedom offering. But the freedom offering. So I don't know what role I was playing in the dream now, but I was coming out. I was just like getting to this place, and I was coming out, and it was dark, and it was night. There were stars in the sky, and I was coming out beneath this tree canopy, dark canopy, and I was just coming around. It was just like, wait, don't go, right? So it's just like about missing the boat. And then there was this spaceship going. It was leaving. And it was like I'd just come behind the trees. It was like I was in a hurry to get there, but missed the boat. I missed the ship. Mothership? I don't know. It was like I had to come out from under the canopy of the dark trees to see this, to be in the stars, to catch the ship in the night. It was going away. So it was like there was this dark energies in this suppressed town, like a town with all this dark energy in it, preventing the people with offering comfort from catching the freedom, you know, like to fly. Being able to fly is to do with the flying. I don't know whether the spaceship was to do with the flying. Of freedom. It was freedom and flying, right? And that person offering that false comfort with the knitted jumper that was to hold the wings closed, not being able to fly. So anyway, that's the message, right? Okay, so let's just pull some cards on this. It's pretty intense. A very, very important message here. Let's see, Holy Spirit. Hang on a minute, I need to burn something here. Just give me one moment. I'll just put a little bit of... Wait a minute. Where did I put my lighter? I've got a lighter here. I might have left it in the car, but hang on. Sorry. Let's break this up a little bit. It's burning a bit tight. Okay, let's clear the energy. Holy Spirit, give us some clear, concise messages, please. Wow, you know, like that. So definitely somebody's offering some false comfort. You know, like it's false. Now, what I was getting earlier as well, it was something to do with some sort of organizations. These are, yeah, okay. Something to do with youth. Yeah, because I'm talking about the vulnerable energies being tricked with false comfort. Okay. There's a trickster spirit. It's a woman. Okay. All right. So what I just got. So this is like coming from an old energy. So way back when there was the women suffragists, right? The women suffragists were people offering the blankets, right? The people that were they were also fighting for women's rights, but then further down the line, those people were used by the authorities. They were tricked, you know. They thought that they were on a good mission. They thought they were on a mission for God, and you know, like promoting a good thing, and in a lot of ways they did, but also an underlying factor of that, you know, one of the things that they did was they were actually going around giving the white feather to people that were you know, against going to war, and they would you know, send white feathers in the mail, you know, like saying they were cowards, you know, because they didn't believe in war. So this is the same, and yeah, so what's happening in the present, it's the same principle as what was happening there. So people were actually working on a good thing, you know, working for women's rights and women's votes, that kind of thing. But there was a trickster spirit in amongst it, where they were tricking people into fighting a dark battle. So bringing it to now, there's organisations working in the same way, and we're looking at here the 17 goals of the agenda. These are organisations put in place to capture the youth and offering now, if you know the organisations, you know, I can't be saying all the organisations because this could be anyway, you'll know. If you know, you know, who are being encouraged to offer to the youth and, you know, those underprivileged people, Indigenous people, women, youth, and Indigenous people are being targeted with their sensibilities to work for entities to promote their agenda. Their agenda is supposedly working for the greater good, but it's a trick. You know, like the duck, the woman with the duck coat, you know, it's to suppress. These are organisations targeting the vulnerable. Those vulnerable people, women, single women in particular, you know, like single mothers, Indigenous people, youth, and you know, needy people, homeless people, you know, anybody that is suffering, Indigenous people that have, you know, like suffered a lot of injustices because they're being offered the blanket, if you know what I'm saying, you know. Okay, so they're under judgment now. Tell us what we need to know, Spirit. Yeah, the offerings. That was actually coming out in reverse. Let me check that. It's up. It's up right there. The Knight of Cups. It's like coming in a note as the knight in shining armor. I can't say it. The knight in shining armor. It's like coming with that, the duck coat. I'm going to call it the duck coat, right? The suppressing. It's a suppressive order. Look, it's all in reverse. Six of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Pentacles in reverse. They're only offering something small. Look, the suppressing of the star energy. It's not healing. This is very, very... This here, this judgment coming, this grey of, see the people rising, there's death rising. that's giving me the impression that I seen of the town. It was like all the buildings were grey and dark and dilapidated, like dead. And this greyness of the people here, it's like coming from past energy, dead, coming from the dead. Yes. It's grey. We have a Queen of Cups in reverse, along with the Knight of Swords. Five of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Authorities coming fast. There's the Queen of Cups in reverse. This could be the Judgment coming in fast for these entities. They've overindulged. This just wanted to come. So there's the Nine of Cups in reverse. So they've over these organisations or these entities. The entities are organisations. I've got 9. With the Nine of Cups here, it's giving me 9. But then there's one major, which may be 10. With the Queen of Cups in reverse. The Queen of Cups holds the 10th cup. 10. The 10. 10 organisations. 10. The 10. Just give me the 10. What's it called? You know, they come together like the 21, like the, you know, like the G10. There's the G20. It's broken down to the G10, the organisations behind this. But behind is the Queen of Cups. And didn't I say the bad woman, the dark woman that's on the top makes the 10. So we have these 9 cups. See, they're all in reverse. It's like a, you know, wish fulfillment in reverse. So there's the 10, but at the head of it is this Queen of Cup. They're coming in quickly. They're acting quickly because they think that they're losing control. What's going on here? Their investments, they're losing control of their investments. So all over these years, this build-up with these organisations to, yeah, look, it's coming to an end with the World Summit. Oh my goodness. All the investments that they've put together is coming undone, and they're going to work fast to come in here with the Knight of Swords, with the storm. This is the storm. So because they're at risk of losing their investments that they've, you know, put in all this time. The magic, we've got the Death in reverse and the magic, but this is partnership here. The truth is coming with the Ace of Swords. Look, the conflict is almost over with this partnership here. The partnership with the Holy Spirit coming forth with a magician, an alchemist. This is the alchemist. It's bringing an end to the end of an end. Like it's the end of the end. And like it's the end of this. It's the end of these organizations, which is bringing an end to the end of the collective alchemists, it's bringing truth to the conflicts. They're no longer conflicted. So the alchemists, the earth angels, those that are actually in partnership with God, right? Are actually in partnership with the greater energy, God, universe, however you identify with it. When you know what I'm talking about here, the alchemists, those who turn the negative into a positive, those who actually give the open blanket without the restriction. So these organizations that have been offering the blankets that are sewn up to suppress the wings, being exposed by those that are offering the blanket, the open blanket, which is the open comfort. You know what I mean? The comfort that comes with freedom, the comfort that it does not suppress. This is open wings, see? Open arms, open wings. It's not suppressed. There is no conflict in this. So this is the end of the suppressive cycle of those coming, this Queen of Wands energy here with that brings the stab of the heart, that brings, it's weak. These organizations are now losing strength. This is, the message has got out there. Look, 5 swords, the battle is over. The High Priestess in reverse. The wicked witches dead that brought the thief, the deceptor, that only breadcrumbed. You know, like give you a little bit just to keep you working for me, sort of shit. The deception of the deception of comfort, small comforts, to deceive the vulnerable. The 17 goals of the agenda. Decepticons. Judgment. They're under judgment. Look, here's the Emperor. The Sun. Past. Yeah, the past offerings are in reverse. 9 of Cups. Clarify the 9 of Cups. The truth is here. Queen of Cups in reverse. Ooh, see that come out. It's in reverse. The Queen of Cups is in the 6 of Wands in reverse. The Empress in reverse. This is the Dark Witch with no love. Has been exposed. The Dark Witch, the head of the coven, the head of the G10. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. The Knight of Swords is here with the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is exposing. This is like the police coming. This is the exposure. The 9 cups are here in reverse. They are being exposed to what they have invested in. This cycle is over. This is the G10. The G9 with the Queen. The G9 with the Queen of Cups in reverse is the G10. The 9 of Cups. This is foolish. This is a foolish partnership. This was a foolish partnership between these organizations. the partnership they had with this Queen, this Queen of Cups in reverse, this witch. So it's like the nine organizations giving their cups to the Queen of Cups, which is the 10th cup. The partnership between the 9 cups and the Queen of Cups was a foolish partnership. Foolish. Oh, I just envision, see how he's got that stick over his shoulder and his parcel on the end of his stick here? I've seen that as a head. That was actually a severed head. And the head of the snake has been severed. Wow. The Queen, the Knight of Cups, this is the offering being cut off. There is no way out for this energy to escape. It's the King of Swords. There's the lies with the King of Swords in reverse. There's no way of escaping. The Moon, what was done under the Moon, with the Four of Wands in reverse. This is creating the instability with the Ten of Swords. So they created the instability with the Pentacles and look, the workforce. This is like the homelessness, those that, you know, like, yeah, been stolen from. This is resources stolen with the 10, look, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. It's stealing the resources. But look, coming out of this bondage is the Alchemist, the Earth Angels, turning these organizations on their head, right? Taking away their power. That's the world. This is the end of the world. Not the end of the world. It's the end of those in power that have been sucking the energies dry. We're going to be leaving this behind. There's 2 wands here, like waiting for the ships to come in. We're going to leave this behind. This the 5 of Cups, the spilt cups is in reverse. There's not going to be any remorse for these organizations. It's going to bring the rest of those that have been in this suppressive state are going to be, this is going to be reversed. And we're going to be able to look forward to the future by walking away from this past way of life, breaking out of this bondage. It's like the end of the end, is like I'm saying. It's like not the end of the world as such. This is the end of the suppressive state. 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, look, the 7 of Pentacles. Those that invested in the organizations that invested in the deception and the lies through the organizations, the covens, the justice system as well, with the lies of the G7 now. It's broken down to the G7 I'm getting with the 7 Pentacles. The investment. Ooh, the investment to cause this disruption for the ordinary people They're coming out of conflict. From the Ten of Swords. It's been exposed here by the Lovers. The Earth Angels. The higher power is coming forth. Yeah. Look, the wheel is turning in the collective's favour. Look, the devil is on his head. He's turned upside down. The higher power has taken away the power of these organisations. They're now going to be the page. A pathetic organisation who ruled with their wands, their desires, their penises, their own personal desires. It's not going to be over for them. Yeah, look, it's becoming exposed. It's been investigated. This is an investigator who's exposing the truth. Oh, okay, let's just get a few messages. So where we're at with this Holy Spirit. Just saying future. Okay, what is the future outcome here? Holy Spirit. The innocent is the future. The innocent is the future. Goddess of the Moon. Iona, Goddess of the Moon, is here to help with mental health. We've got cold in reverse, and in the back we've got love. Cold is in reverse. So coming out of the cold, higher level thief is in reverse. Consumers. The consumers. Come out in reverse. Throat chakra is in reverse. Solar plexus chakra is in the reverse. Gang stalkers we have. What else do we need to... Footsteps. Trade in reverse. Bellatrix is here. Utilities. Watching. Got watches. Watches. A Greek historian, student of Socrates. Military leader, strategic flanking and maneuvers is in reverse. Twin flame in reverse, the partnership. Plot. So the plot is in reverse and the partnership is in reverse. So this is done. The trade is done. It's no longer. There's no longer going to continue. Help is here. Now, what's fallen on the ground is gay. Like, this could be lost souls. Sorry. Anything else we need to see here, Spirit? Anything else we need to... Drunk. They've been drunk on their power. Yeah. Financial gain is in reverse. Loyalty. Tax evasion is in reverse. Sit on it. The dog is like loyalty. So what they've been loyal to is they've been drunk with their loyalty to this power. And there's no more financial gain here. It's in reverse. Financial gain is in reverse. The assault is in reverse. So the assault on the communities. Sacral chakra is in reverse. Their power, their creative power, what they have invested in is in reverse. It's reversed because they were working on the collectives, or the communities, the masses ability to create. And now this is changing. People are taking their power back. Yeah, drawing on their own. That's the draw, is drawing on their own power, overseeing. Drawing on their own power, drawing their own creativity. What we draw up ourselves, what we create from our own solar plexus that has been blocked for however long, for these people to draw on the power of the masses. Energy is now just for lots of money, like for their own, they're drunk on their own power with money. This is no longer, and the masses are learning that they can draw from their own solar and sacral chakras to create for themselves a world that they want for themselves. Holy Mother Mary is here. And from the mouth, spoken. What has been suppressed is now being spoken out. We're going to cut those jumpers. Witchcraft here. Safety. Mouth again. What's been sold on the dark web is in reverse. So this is people's souls being sold. Life insurance here. People's lives, people's souls. Sold. I'm just getting sold. Life insurance, sold lives, souls, lives. People's souls being sold, right? Crown chakra, blocking the crown chakras are opening. This is the opening. The crown chakra is in the upright, so people's crown chakras are opening to this knowledge. The assholes are on their head, so this is the devil turned on his head. We're insured of this. Listen. Yeah. Listening. That was something I was getting when I went to this particular place, and this is all these messages come forth. The ringing in this place, the ringing in the ears is just like phenomenal messaging. We've got jail in reverse, we've got spell work, it's in reverse. The spells are being reversed. The jail, this prison that we've been living in, the executed is in reverse. Those that have been executed, suppressed. Psalm 62, a calm resolve to wait for the salvation of God. How long will you attack a man? You shall be slain. God is refuge for us. But there'll be no refuge for these people because that came out in reverse. We've got car and we've got spy here. Somebody's being followed and watched. Listen. We've been told to listen. Okay, okay, let's get a message from the angels here. Okay, holy angels, Holy Spirit, holy angels, Holy Spirit, what do you need? What's the message for us? Manekio, contain your anger today and don't get worked up. Okay, so yes, we don't want to take this information and overreact, right? We have to stay in alignment and calm in this situation. It's not a big deal anyway, it says. So, how can that be? What do you mean by that? Contain your anger. So, we don't want to overreact. To this message. Yes, we do need to be contained. You can see that excitement and energy coming out of my message, right? In the way that I'm speaking this. But we need to be in a calm energy so that we don't overreact. Okay, like we don't want to go out there and go, you know, like and start fighting. That's not how we operate, right? Because God is in control here. So we don't need to do anything. Okay. Nithayaya, I can't say it, Haya. Pay attention to signs and symbols you see. They offer new wisdom. So this is the new wisdom that's coming forth. Because, okay, so what I'm getting, so contain your anger. This is what, so this is what this message is like. Containing the message, because that's the message we're getting from this G10 that we're talking about, is that we have to take all this action, you know, like with aggression, and that's what they're projecting. But this is where we have to go, is to not react. You know, like how, you know, the women suffragists went around and says, oh, you all got to go to war, otherwise you're cowards, right? And we know that the organisations that are promoting the 17 goals of the agenda are winding people up to want to fight and put all the people against each other. And so this is what this is saying here, is that we're not to, you know, like it says, contain your anger today and don't get worked up. So this is saying, don't fall for the rhetoric, right? What they've been promoted on the media and all that sort of stuff is winding people up to overreact to things, because that's what they want us to do. Whereas if we just step back and go, no, let go and let God, be calm, look at things rationally, for peace, right? They're promoting war on certain things. I mean, even like when it comes down to the war on weeds, you know what I mean? Like, so that gives them so they go around killing everything by spraying everything to death with poison. But then they're poisoning the ground, which is also poisoning the river. You know, like the river's flowing flat out at the moment, but there's all this fucking foam on it, which is dead microbiology, you know, dead micro organisms, right? All that foam that is coming down the river when it rains, it's all the dead stuff that they're killing with the spraying. That's what I mean by overreacting to their rhetoric. You know, it might not be us actually going and killing each other as well. It's these types of things. Kill the weeds because they're going to take over, right? There's a whole lot of weeds out there which are really good edible. Oh, you know, like you don't have to go to the shop and fucking buy this shit. You can, you know, I picked some today. Oh, let me show you. This here, this is wild lettuce, and this is wild radish. I'm going to have this with my breakfast this morning, right? I just got that from outside where they haven't sprayed yet. You know, like, this is part of the problem, you know, like overreacting to spraying everything to death because people are frightened of weeds. People are frightened of growth. Yes, these are introduced weeds to this area, and it has suppressed a lot of the indigenous plants, but that damage is done. We need to, you know what I mean, we can still use the weeds for to sustain ourselves, you know, like they go around spraying everything, so there's nothing. We haven't got the indigenous stuff there or the introduced stuff. You know, like they spray the ground that much and they're poisoning the rivers, and so then we don't have anything to eat in the rivers. I mean, in the river here, they used to be able to eat the jilgies, and there was flathead fish, and they fucked all that up. We don't have those foods anymore, and not to mention, you know, all the other smaller stuff that the birds and the wildlife eat is all just been poisoned because of fear of the weed, so that the farmers and these higher powers can grow these big farms that produce food that's poisonous. Canola's poisonous. The wheat, I can't eat that. I can't digest it. I don't know whether it's because of the the wheat's not genetically modified. The canola is, but they've bred it. I know the canola is actually the DNA has been spliced with glyphosate, so that when they spray the fields, everything else dies, right? Even the insects and everything dies. But the weed is resistant to it. So it's Roundup Ready resistant seed. But that means the poison is in the actual seed. You know what I mean? Like what you eat is poisonous. With the wheat, though, it's not genetically modified, but, well, here in Australia anyway, but I don't know about overseas. I think America it probably is. But they have, like, because it's mass grown, they have these mass big bins where they hold all the wheat, right? But then they have to spray that to keep the rodents and the things that eat it. And so what the hell is that? You know, like, what are they putting on there? The reason why I don't know why I can't digest it. I used to be able to, you know, be able to eat the wheat, but more and more people can't eat wheat. Okay, let's have what's coming from the demons here, like Holy Spirit. Boon. Connect with your ancestors and ask them for guidance. Wisdom and wealth await in equal abundance. So if we look back and we look at our ancestors and how, like, let's have a look at how our ancestors sustained ourselves in this world without all this engineering of the natural environment, right down to the engineering of organisms and like that actually, and engineering DNA, human and animal and plant material, without all the engineering, human engineering of what God made perfect in the first place. Why would, that's what is demonic, right? Genetically modifying what was already perfect, that God made everything perfect, right? So it's demonic. Demonic engineering, we should call it. Yeah, we could call it. So, genetic engineering, demonic engineering, GMO, genetically modifying organisms. We could call it genetically modifying demonic GMO. We could call it DGMO. Yeah. Belial. You must sometimes sacrifice a little to receive a lot. There's a greater glory awaiting for you. So sacrificing a little to receive a lot. This is like sacrificing a small farm to receive a big farm. But that's demonic. Sacrificing a small alteration in genetics. But our DNAs are changing because of the environment. So this is where genetic engineering how's it go? Like turned into epigenics. Eugenics turned into epigenics. So it went from changing the DNA, the genetic makeup of an organism, which was considered unethical. So then they changed it to epigenics. So epigenics is actually changing the environment, and then the individual organism adapts to the environment. So if they change the environment, then the organism changes to adapt to that environment. So it has become marketable as ethical, but it's still the same thing. So eugenics became epigenics to become in the powers, for them to assert their powers on the smaller organism, to change the environment, to make it ethical, to be marketed as ethical, but it's still not ethical. Okay? Zapar, I hope you're following me. Your romantic relationship should be at the forefront. Allow your heart to solve any problems that arise. So this is operating out of love, because what the bigger powers are promoting is to be fearful of even nature, be fearful of the natural environment, be fearful of God's creations, how things are naturally born. So we've, through the marketing, we've been, they've been projecting so much fear in so many ways that we have become fearful, and therefore lost the love of even our fellow man, our environment, like our everything, right? So this is saying, for us, we must operate out of love and not to fight each other. We have to go back to loving one another and God's creations, every single, even our, what we consider to be pests and insects and weeds and shit like that, right? Because what they are promoting is the death of organisms as we know them. Changing the environment is dead. It's demonic. It's like, like blocking the natural way the body operates with blockages that they use in medications and that to block natural ways of your immune system behaviour. I'm not sure how I can, like many medications block our immune systems to operate in a natural way for our bodies to heal themselves. And because we've got all this other shit going on in our environment, it's changing our organisms and for how they need to operate naturally. Because the whole world is one singular organism. And every organism on the planet has a role to play. And, like these demonic energies have been slowly breaking down the operation of our natural environment, the Earth's natural metabolism, and what's the word? The Earth's natural, ability to heal. I can't think of the word. You know what I'm saying, right? So anyway, I'm going to leave that there. This is a pretty full-on message for us all. So I'm going to leave that here, and I'm going to throw together my weeds for breakfast. So I'll see you again in the next message. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.